Hey guys, what's up? It's Yukata Red here, and today I'm coming at you with some Fortnite update action. Well, as many of you know, the Fortnite map update is coming this week, possibly within the next day or two, and the hype could not be more real. I haven't. This is this is the type of you would think a brand new game was coming out, like a sequel to an amazing game that came out last year or something. There's hype. It's everywhere. It's on Twitter, it's on Reddit, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitch. People want to know. Well, I've scoured the internet over the past couple days and tried to dig up the best information for you guys and condense it into one short video, because there's all kinds of stuff going on out there. Forum posts a mile long, hundreds of videos. Let's just get down to the bare bones of it, guys. The new map looks like it's going to add a ton of places that Epic didn't officially mention in their first, little drops of information that they gave us about the update. As far as we knew, they were going to create biomes, and they were going to bring in or introduce a city with a possible smattering of a couple new elements to the landscape. But last week they revealed that there was going to be a junkyard and a motel. This alone kind of catapulted the hype to kind of a new level. We know the city's going to be awesome. That's going to be the go-to place. And a motel, of course, that's awesome. But Epic then hinted at a mine, and we were like, okay, this couldn't really get any better. But they took it 100 steps further. A map was leaked a couple days ago, and honestly, I know I'm not alone in saying that, in thinking that when I first saw the map, I thought it was really good Photoshop because of how much stuff is on it that was never even remotely hinted at by Epic. I mean, we don't just have one or two, or hell, even 4 new places. We're looking at 5 whole new, I guess you could say, sections of the map, with, I believe, 4 new named locations, and upwards to about a dozen new individual locations. Let's start out first with going up into the northwest quadrant with the outright obliteration of the loner path, the soloers path that used to exist on the far west side of the map. Had a couple houses in intervals, which would finally loop around the northern part of the mountain and lead you kind of on a straight path through a bunch of isolated buildings all the way to Anarchy. That entire route has been completely destroyed and replaced with apparently Haunted Hills, which might be a companion area to Wailing Woods. I'm thinking it's going to be something along the lines of either a graveyard, either like a mausoleum could be in it, maybe some spooky trees, just like in Wailing Woods. Pretty cool place. I mean, we don't know really what to expect from it. Epic has been poker-faced on that one. They haven't talked about it. Anyway, it looks about the size of the Meat of Lonely Lodge. So that's a brand new named location. And we go right up to the junkyard, which follows into a area which looks to be like a small suburb, or possibly a new set of factories. That is a brand new location, guys. It's a new unnamed probable drop location. Crazy. This leads all the way right to the motel. And then we get to the next section, which is the city. This was the one that everybody was expecting. Dubbed Tilted Towers, which is a great name, guys. Epic is killing it. but it's looks to be about the size of Pleasant Park. It looks, since it's a vertical, there's a lot of verticality in Tilted Towers. I think it is probably going to be the biggest piece of built up area in the game. It's going to be the biggest city otherwise. Tilted Towers is looking to be like the go-to loot emporium. What makes it interesting is that if you notice its positioning, I mean, they couldn't have made it in a more interesting, dynamic location, which up until now had actually been one of the most boring, nonsensical parts of the entire map, to be honest. That open area of hills and just barren fields next on the southern side of Loot Lake was pretty much always, in my opinion, just dead man zone. You could just it was just there, and you just had to wander through it, and it was pretty much just a waste. But now it looks to be like you're going to have a sight line from parts of Tilted Towers to the factories on Loot Lake, possibly even a sight line to the house in the middle of Loot Lake, which is pretty awesome. So, we already know what to expect from Tilted Towers. It is going to be chaos, fun as hell. I might be dropping there first. I don't know. I'm probably going to get my head blown off, but whatever. Now, the next section down here is interesting. I could have, thrown a bunch of arrows on this because there's just, I don't know where to begin with it. But we've got the mine, first and foremost. Then we've got this down here, which is a unnamed, looks to be industrial area, the size of Flush Factory, if not bigger. It's bigger than Factories, the area formerly known as Factories, to the west of Retail Row. It is bigger than that. It is bigger than Flush Factory. It is roughly the size, I would say it's roughly the square footage of Prison, if not even bigger than that, guys. And it is just there. No inkling about what it is, why it's there, what encompasses it. Like, is it a specific kind of a building complex? Is it a school? Is it a hospital? Hey, is it another set of factories? Who knows? We don't know. You can't really tell. The only thing we can tell about the buildings there is that none of them are blacktops. What that means is anybody's guess. The blacktops usually represent commercial buildings, like restaurants and stores, whereas the factories and other buildings have, just these beige gray roofs. So it's probably a new factory setting right outside of Flush Factory. Probably, I would say, maybe even a part of Flush Factory. Really cool. Directly north of that, we have Shifty Shafts, the new mine area, which, again, it looks to be about the size of Tomato Town. So we're getting a whole new... This is going to be a whole brand new named drop location, guys. It looks like it also has like an auxiliary area. We don't know what to expect from this place. It might even be bigger than it looks from the outside since it's a mine. So it's going to have verticality to it, and possibly even areas underneath the ground that extend maybe into the surrounding hills a bit. That might be a little bit much, but even from this top-down map view, we can tell that the area encompassing Shifty Shafts, which is probably going to look like a quarry from the top, is enormous. It's easily the size of Containers or Prison, and may even be bigger than that if you count these auxiliary areas. We also have another new location in this area. This little industrial looking area between Flush Factory and Shifty Shafts. So we have, and this looks like it could be a depot, like a truck stop or something like that. But there's a couple other places that we still have yet to kind of go over. There is another unnamed industrial looking area, possibly residential, area between, it's north of Greasy Grove and to the west of Tilted Towers and to the south of Pleasant Park. It looks to be somewhat more commercial. I can see at least 2 blacktops in it and possibly a big residential house. So I'm thinking it's going to be a small suburb, possibly with like a supermarket or something that this big building is. So, I mean, guys, they are absolutely killing it. I mean, what even is this? I mean, as if we, weren't getting spoiled enough with the area down here. But now we have another new little area in the middle of the map, on the middle of the west side of the map to play around with. It should be noted too that the biome of the west side of the map is completely changed, and from the looks of things, is going to have more dense clusters of trees. It's gonna be a different type of. I would imagine, judging by the looks of it, it's going to be a little bit more like the outskirts of Wailing Woods rather than the outskirts of, say, Salty Springs. It's going to be a little bit more foresty, maybe more pine trees, maybe more of the the big fluffy pine trees that are near Wailing Woods and Tomato Town, rather than and Lonely Lodge, rather than just the same trees that are like everywhere else in the map. So, I mean, that's interesting in and of itself. And finally, we have the last location, which is yet again another location that was not hinted at by Epic. They did not mention this. They did not talk about it. It's been, kept under the cap or whatever. And that's Snobby Shores, which, judging by the looks of it, is an entire new suburban sprawl, just like Greasy Grove or Salty Springs, that is going to be another mainstay drop location. Which is, I mean, you can't get the absurdity. I mean, the amount of stuff that, if this pans out, if this is actually all accurate, it's honestly hard to believe that's how massive we're talking about here. And Snobby Shores, I mean, one thing we can say about that is, since what we can see here, there doesn't look to be that many streets. It looks to be more about maybe like a set of 5 mansions or big residential buildings, like kind of like the brick house in Tomato Town. So my best guess is it's going to be 4 or 5 really nice houses, which is interesting if you think about it, because we're used to these opposing street battles that tend to happen in Salty and Greasy and Pleasant. Whereas with this zone, it looks like it's going to be more about, who lands on the south house, or who lands on, the second house or the third house, and they're everybody's going to go, oh, there's the northernmost one, there's the southernmost one. There also seems to be, this is either a pool, this black circle in Snobby Shores appears to either be a pool or some kind of small commercial building, possibly a small restaurant, like the small one that's in retail. So we'll keep on the lookout for that. There's actually more to this update than even all of this. Like that, as much as, Haunted Hills, the updates near Flush Factory, Snobby Shores, the mine, all this stuff that came out of nowhere. It appears at first glance that Moisty Mire is getting some kind of an update. Though they did mention that the biomes were going to be updated and changed, and that it wasn't really going to be in and of itself an overhaul, would seem, if you look really closely, that they did change the geography a bit around Moisty Mire. Whether this means that they just changed some of the trees, like instead of the normal Salty Springs kinds of trees being on the southern areas with these abandoned houses, into the ones that are in Moisty Mire, it remains to be seen. But one thing I have noticed is that a lot of people on Reddit and a lot of people in the forums in general have been claiming that there does not appear to be any changes that look like they're going to occur with Moisty Mire. And I would argue against that, because if you actually look really closely, there does appear to be new pools of water that they've added to the southernmost points of the map. And I can say for certain that whatever these blue pools of water that appear very much like the ones in Moisty Mire are, there's not normally any pools of water in that area. So I think, guys, that all the hype that's going on about the west side of the map is actually clouding people's judgment on the east side, because I think Moisty Mire is getting a massive overhaul. I think, now, I could be wrong, but I personally think that the entire chunk of land south of Moisty Mire is going to become Moisty Mire. I think that there is going to be a trail system still back there, and there may still be some of the same houses and whatnot, but I am pretty sure that Moisty Mire probably just doubled in size. The hype is exceptionally real, guys. Now, I've been doing some digging, and I'm fairly certain that the update is coming out on Thursday. Now, this could change at a moment's notice. Epic hasn't said anything official yet. I came across this Facebook post that a lot of people are linking to from a France-based Fortnite Facebook page, and in it, it seems to hint that there's going to be some kind of patch or update on Thursday. And it would make sense. I mean, we didn't get patch notes tonight. We're probably getting patch notes tomorrow, and the patch is going to happen on Thursday, guys. I don't know why they would do it Thursday, Friday. It's possible if they see setbacks or if they think something's not going to work right, they're probably going to hold it back a day. But if I had to guess, I think we're looking at a Wednesday patch note drop, and then Thursday, the patch is probably coming out, guys. So everyone's just going to have to sit, hold tight, contain the hype, and wait for just a few more hours until this thing finally drops. I know I'm excited. I bet you guys are excited. Remember to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'll be dropping some new Fortnite content and other gaming content soon, guys. Later.